Good morning, friends. I just wanted to take a few moments to acknowledge the passing of Tatasuya Nakadai. Tatasuya Nakadai, for those of you out there who are older, remember him as one of the probably top 5 samurai or actors in Japan of all time. I spent many, many hours as a child and an adult watching him in his many, many great roles that he played. He was a great Japanese actor. Aside from Mifune, he's right up there. I have a couple photos of him, so I want you to take a peek, and I'm sure you can recognize from some of these who he was. But I wanted to read a little bit about his past, just so you know who he was, and we can take a moment and appreciate who he was. Tatasuya Nakadai was born on December 13th, 1932. And he died on November 8th, 2025. He was a Japanese actor, widely regarded as one of the greatest actors in the history of Japanese cinema. He collaborated extensively with many Japanese acclaimed directors. He had a career of 7 decades. Can you believe that? He worked into his 90s in more of 160 films. He received numerous accolades. He was honored with the medal Purple Ribbon Medal in 1996 and Japan's Order of Culture in 2015. He was discovered on the streets of Tokyo by Masaki Kobayashi. He rose to prominence starring in his films, and he was in the epic The Human Condition in 1959, where he won a Blue Ribbon Award for Best Actor. Of course, he was in the Samurai Rebellion, a great movie from 1967. He worked in 5 of Akira Kurosawa films. You might know him from Ran from 1985. He was also in, of course, 7 Samurai in 1954, one of the best movies ever made. Yojimbo in 1961 with Mifune, who was there, High and Low. The Sword of Doom, one of my personal favorites. The Face of Another. Gyokin, Kagemusha, another great movie of the samurai. Tale of Princess Kaguya in 2013, for those of you who are younger. He founded the acting school, Mumejuku, in 1975 and continued performing on stage until his 90s. Incredible. People don't realize that the average lifespan in Japan, I think, is about 85. It's really high. In America, men die around 77. So to live to be into your 90s, it's like less than 1% of all humans will ever be 100. So he lived an incredibly long life. Most of us will never live that long. He died of pneumonia in a Tokyo hospital on November 8th, just a few days ago, 2025, at the age of 92. His death was disclosed 3 days later. They waited on November 11th. Some sources claim that he died on November 11th, but according to his talent agency, no, he died at 12:25 a.m. on November 8th. He was hospitalized 2 weeks prior to his death with injuries, and he died, let's see, does it say what he died of? I think pneumonia. Yeah, pneumonia. Pneumonia takes most older people. It's usually a breathing issue that takes most of us. It was announced he will have a funeral and memorial service in the coming days, but it'll only be open to close relatives. So you can see here are some photos of him. So many great, great scenes. I wanted to play something from Sword of Doom, which I'm actually working on a video right now for Teachable. If you want to see it at some point. I do some commentary on fight scenes and movies, and Sword of Doom is a great one that I'm working on right now, so you can watch that. If you link below, you can subscribe on Teachable. But here is the scene, just a few seconds of it, so you can see Nakadai in action here with Mifune. This is at the end of a scene where Mifune had to kill a bunch of guys. He was set up. There was an assassination attempt, and Mifune ended up in the palanquin and came out instead of the guy they were looking for and killed everybody. And he was ashamed as a samurai that he had to kill all of these swordsmen because they were really good, but Mifune was much better. Nakadai, who's an evil SOB in this movie and totally insane, hence the name Sword of Doom. He is purely evil. And when he sees Mifune take out all these guys, he questions his fighting skills, his kenjutsu skills, and you can see this man was a master actor through his face. He had very scary eyes, dark, like almost doll-like eyes, if you heard that line from Jaws. Very disturbing face to watch, very intense eyes, but you can see in Japanese cinema they don't need to speak to elicit a bunch of emotion. So this is just a few seconds of the film here. Here's Mifune and Nakadai on the left. There's Nakadai. Look at those eyes as he draws his katana here. Mifune notices it. He senses his danger, his evil. Just that look of Nakadai, look at him. You can tell he's mentally ill there. And he's looking at Mifune. Should I challenge him? He pops his tsuba. Should I challenge him or should I wait for the right time? This series was supposed to be a 3-movie series, I think. But it was so violent that I think they canceled the other 2. And you can tell by the end of this movie, Sword of Doom, where he kind of goes insane and he's chopping in the air. He's fighting spirits and all the people he's killed. And then they just cut right there. And there were supposed to be 2 more following, but I don't think they were filmed, to my knowledge. But there's Nakadai in his young days. Look at the snow. Such a great scene with Mifune grabbing his haori there. And look at this pan shot. They were really good at filming back then. But there will be a time where he will fight Mifune in our mind only. So here he is, probably, I don't know, age 90, 80s. I saw him. He was in an interview here you can watch on YouTube. I highly suggest that you go back and find his movies. He was a great actor. He gave us so much. Here he is in Ran. Gosh, he gave us so much wonderful time for those of us who were inspired by samurai cinema and the ninja. Tatasuya Nakadai died this year. A wonderful, wonderful, full and brilliant life on cinema, and he inspired thousands of people like you and I. I just wanted to take a moment to acknowledge him and thank him for all of his work on behalf of all of us martial artists out there, any of us who have picked up a sword or read a book. He was one of the faces of samurai cinema that we'll never forget. Thank you for watching. Have a good day. Bye-bye.